Good morning, everybody. It's Councillor Glen here. Today I'm at Alexander Grove Park, which is just off Stittsville Main Street next to the Johnny LaRue Arena. It is kind of incredible in here. I'm gonna rotate the camera so you get a sense of what it looks like here. Just these beautiful big pine trees all around. So, and the baseball field, the Lions baseball field. I'm just gonna rotate around. There's a little playground there for kids. Some massive trees. Go look up there. And then, of course, the Johnny LaRue Arena. Anyhow, really nice spot if you're looking for someplace to walk through and visit and explore. This would be a great spot. Also near the Pool Creek Pathway, just a little bit north of the park. So you can head down the Pool Creek Pathway and walk basically all the way to Westridge in one direction. And the other way you can get through Wildwood and Amberwood and so on going the other way. So a really nice spot at Alexander Grove. Wanted to start today by saying a special good morning to Doug Lee. Doug Lee lives not too far away from here, and earlier this week he was there was an incident where he was knocked over and harassed by some people in the community. Many of you have probably seen Doug and not even know it. He loves to ride his bike around the neighborhood. He's often got his safety vest on. He was a regular visitor to our ward office back when the ward office was open. And anyhow, Doug, I just want to say good morning and let you know the community's thinking of you. Very sorry to hear what happened to you, but just want you to know that we care about you and we're thinking about you this morning, and hope you're doing okay. If you see Doug around the neighborhood, if you're watching this, just wave hello to him. Say hi to Doug. I'm sure he'd appreciate the hello. Doug's a great guy. A few things this week. I'll start with COVID and vaccines. I got my vaccine, my first dose of the AstraZeneca at the Hazeldean Pharmacy on Wednesday. So thank you, Neha, for that. I had some of the typical side effects. I know a number of people who have had this vaccine now, and within the first day or so, bit of a headache, some fatigue, bit of a fever. I had all those things, but I'm feeling really good now, a few days later. So it lasted about a day, and then I was fine. There's some expanded vaccine availability now for pregnant women. Every week, there's more groups that are being added to the list of for availability for vaccines. Best thing to do is go to Ottawa Public Health. They have a tool you can use. You can plug in your name, not your name. You can plug in your age, you can plug in your address, and you just check all the criteria to see if you're eligible for a vaccine, because those rules and criteria are changing constantly from the province. So if you haven't had a vaccine yet, your turn is coming soon. In Ottawa, 255,000 people have now received at least one dose. That's 29% of our population 16 or up. So every week we're seeing a lot of progress of vaccines, which is good. Some local stuff, not COVID related. First of all, our volunteer awards. We're coming up on our deadline this Friday for nominations. We've had some good nominations so far, but there's still some time. There's 6 different categories. You can find all that information on my website at glengower.ca. So if you know someone in the community, at your school, on your street, in an organization that you're involved with who is making a difference, please nominate them. We want to recognize and celebrate the best of Stittsville's volunteers. Posted some info yesterday on my website. We are looking for your feedback on where there are missing links in Stittsville's sidewalk and cycling network. City's going through a process of updating what's called the Active Transportation Plan. Active transportation basically means transportation where your body's moving. So would include walking, would include cycling. I suppose you could include probably public transit and buses in that too, but right now we're looking for where is there a missing sidewalk, where is there a missing bike path, what are the connections that would make your life as a pedestrian or as a cyclist easier? How would it be more convenient, more safe to get around the community? So please go to my website at glengower.ca and you will see how you can share your feedback. We are also going to be doing a thing on May 11th, a Q&A with city staff to find out how they prioritize and how we budget and how we plan for filling in these gaps. So I've had a few great suggestions so far. Keep them coming in, please. Let's see. At the city this week, we had a couple interesting meetings. We had one on Thursday. The bureaucratic title of it was Regulations for Short-Term Rentals. What this means basically is things like Airbnb, short-term rentals, How are we going to regulate those? What kind of licensing is there going to be? What are some of the limits on how you can rent out your home? So we had a big decision on that. It's coming to council next week. We also yesterday approved a framework for, again, the bureaucratic term would be tax ratios for property classes. But basically what it means is we are finding a way to lower taxes for small businesses in our community. It's a new capability or new ability that we have from the province to do that. So we're changing, providing a discount for small businesses to help them out in the coming years. Some things that are coming up this week, we have a few public meetings. On Tuesday night, we're doing our meeting on 1837 Maple Grove. This is the lot on Maple Grove Road with the old stone house. It's one of the old Harton houses dating back from the 19th century, and there's a stone cottage that's even older than the house there. Mattamy wants to build some townhomes. They do want to keep the 2 stone buildings, which is good news. We're doing a public meeting on Tuesday where you can learn about that, ask questions, share your feedback, and so on. And on Thursday, we're doing a meeting for 723 Putney. This is a townhome proposal along Robert Grant Avenue, near kind of near Cope, I guess, between Cope and Abbott Street. So that's on Thursday evening. You can find information about those meetings and other upcoming development in our community by going to glengower.ca/development. And I believe we have some Facebook events set up for both of those as well, so you can get all the Zoom info and so on. On May 6th, there is a webinar about ticks. So University of Ottawa is doing some research into tick population in our area, and Stittsville was one of the communities where they did some basically they set some traps for small animals to try to figure out how widespread ticks were in the community. So they're going to be doing a webinar about the research they're doing and also how you can protect your pets and yourselves from ticks, because there are a lot of ticks. We're right in tick season right now. And as someone from my team said, you could call this a tick talk on May 6th. And then on May 4th, I'm doing another Councillor Chat. We're going to do kind of a call-in radio show format type of thing. We're going to do it on Zoom, and we'll webcast as well on Facebook and everything. But on May 4th in the evening, we'll take 1 hour. If you have questions, if you have comments, we'll be opening the lines, as they say, and ask me anything. Tell me what's on your mind, and we'll try to get as much information and as many questions in that hour as possible. I think that's it for this week, a bit of a shorter update. So I'm here at a park. I came here to remind myself, to remind you that play structures are open for kids, but that's about it at the parks. There's tennis courts over there, off limits. Pickleball courts, off limits. The baseball diamonds, off limits. Soccer fields, off limits. You certainly can walk through, bike through the parks and so on. But if you are here at the playgrounds, please wear a mask. That's a rule now with Ottawa Public Health. Now, I think that we should be reopening most, if not all, of our recreation facilities. The province won't let us do that yet, but I think if people are able to wear masks playing tennis or keep distance in these activities and stick with people from their household, I think that's a reasonable balance of safety. I really don't want to see our parks closed off for weeks and weeks, especially with this beautiful day and nice weather that we have. But please be safe out there, and if you're out on the trails and pathways, just remember to give people distance and be courteous to people on the path. And if you're cycling around as well, be aware of people who are around you. Don't cycle on the sidewalk. I know that it feels convenient and safe, but please make sure that you're walking your bike on the sidewalk and giving pedestrians space. We've had a number of emails in the last week or two asking me to remind you about that. So overall, just be courteous, kind, patient with the people around you, and I hope you do get out today, though, to explore the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day, beautiful sunny day for a change. And I hear some sirens in the distance. Wonder what's going on. Anyhow, I will stop there. I will see you this time next Saturday. Lots of comments coming in. Oh, I just saw one coming in. Park ambassadors. Yes, the city has park ambassadors at parks as well. So you might see people in a City of Ottawa shirt. They're not there to hand out tickets and fines. That's what bylaw and police can help with. The park ambassadors are there just to remind people to make sure that you are wearing a mask and you know the rules around some of the park facilities being closed. All right. I will stop there for real now. Have a great Saturday, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care.